Good morning, you guys. I am getting started right now with breakfast, and I'm actually enjoying a juice. The color is terrible, but I will tell you guys why. Because yesterday I had a photo shoot and we juiced a bunch of different colors for the photo shoot. So I'm doing my best to consume it all and drink it today. So I'm just mixing all of the different drinks that we had to make it look pretty in pictures. So this one is just straight carrot, I think with a little bit of lemon. This one is purple kale, dino kale, and collards. So it's like so green and pigmented. Then, of course, here we have my lemon ginger tonic, and we just put it in the big bottle because we made a lot of it. And then this beautiful green color is, of course, just straight celery juice. So what I did is I took all 4 of these bottles and I combined it and filled it up in this one here, and it gives you this really terrible looking color but delicious, extremely nutrient dense juice. I just got Ronan onto the bus. I'm gonna get Sawyer changed, and we're gonna head out the door here in about 5 or 10 minutes. I'll take her to school. I'll enjoy this on the drive to school. I'm gonna come home and then I'm gonna make some warm chia pudding. I am so excited to share this recipe with you guys. I have been craving it a ton here in the winter months because it is colder in the morning, and sometimes I want oatmeal, sometimes I want a smoothie, and sometimes I want a warm chia pudding, and today is that day. So I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy this, take Sawyer to school. I'll come back, it'll be a little bit later, probably like 9:30, 10, maybe even 10:30 is when I start to get hungry for breakfast, and then together we will go ahead and make the warm chia pudding. All right guys, so I just got home from dropping Sawyer off at school. I filled up the diffuser and I'm just going to load the dishwasher up from the kids' breakfast and from Kaya's breakfast, but I filled the diffuser up with kind of my signature scent, but a little bit of a spin on it. So today we have tangerine and peppermint. You guys know how much I love using orange essential oil mixed with peppermint. I always say that these two are like my signature scent for our home. Whenever you come in, it most likely 95% of the time will smell like orange and peppermint. But when I was at my girlfriend Tiffany's house, she gave me 2 bottles of the tangerine essential oil, and it smells delicious. It's just like a little bit of a fun twist. Obviously, it's still citrus based with the peppermint, which is that clean, really refreshing spa-like kind of therapeutic smell that I love, but it also brings the fresh elements of the citrus. So I've just loaded up the diffuser. I'm gonna clean up some of the dishes. We have like green juice bottles from mine and Kaya's juices this morning, the kids' bowls from breakfast, a little bit of a cutting board from when I was putting together their lunch. I'm gonna load up that dishwasher and then we will go ahead and make a warm chia pudding. Okay, so I shared with you guys a few weeks ago that I was listening to November 9th by Colleen Hoover. There's a new Colleen Hoover book. I think it's called Reminders of Him. Yes, okay. It's called Reminders of Him. This is on Audible. This is not sponsored by Audible, I wish. But this is called Reminders of Him. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start listening to this one. I also have Heart Bones like sitting in my cart, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do Reminders of Him. So I'm gonna listen to that on my headset. I know I don't use the AirPods. I get like a lot of questions about that, but I don't use the AirPods obviously because of like EMFs and things like that. So I just use regular headphones, and then I do randomly have like jeans on today, which is something I never wear, but I just like put it in the pocket of my jeans or like sweatpants, and it doesn't bother me at all. But just like thinking of the AirPods kind of gives me a headache. I'm very sensitive to like holding a phone to my head. It definitely like messes with me. So in regards to like Bluetooth and EMF. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this book, load up the dishes, and then we will head over to the stove and make our warm chia pudding. Okay guys, so now we're going to make our warm chia pudding, and I am so excited to share this recipe with you guys because it is super easy to make. To me, chia pudding is just such a delicious, filling, and satiating breakfast, but oftentimes we always think of chia pudding as being cold because you normally pre-make it in some sort of container, you put it in the refrigerator with the plant milk overnight, and you allow it to sit. But this sort of spin, in addition to chia pudding, having it warm on the stove, one, is faster, and two, it's really great for those cool winter mornings. So I will turn you guys around and show you that I have 1.5 cups of plant milk already here on the stovetop ready to go. I've pre-measured out a 1/4 cup of ground flax seeds because even though, yes, it is chia pudding, we of course are adding some of my favorite seeds to this as well. We have chia seeds, and in addition to hemp seeds and pumpkin seeds. So we're really gonna kind of zhuzh this thing up to have it full of a ton of hormone-friendly ingredients. If you haven't had a chance to check out the video I did 2 weeks ago on 3 hormone balancing smoothies, I will go ahead and link that for you guys up here in the cards. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up 1/3 cup with chia seeds, add that to our plant milk. We also are going to put in 1/4 cup of ground flax seeds, 1/4 cup of hemp seeds. Then I am going to be adding in a little bit of Vietnamese cinnamon, cardamom, and some Celtic salt because we are wanting to boost all of our minerals and really absorb all of the nutrients in this chia pudding. So adding in that Celtic salt is just the icing on the cake. So let's go ahead and start mixing all of this on the stove. Okay, I already pre-measured out the 1/4 cup of ground flax seeds, so I don't have the burner turned on yet. We're gonna just start tossing this into the saucepan. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn on the burner on medium, and we're gonna go ahead and whisk all of this together. So as you guys can see, it's already starting to congeal. It's only been about 1 minute. So I am going to go ahead and cover it for 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and stir it, and we should be all set. Just like that, we have chia pudding in under 5 minutes. Legitimately, putting all of this together, and the total cook time takes 5 minutes, which is unbelievable for those busy mornings before school, before work, where you want something warm and nourishing, and maybe you don't want oatmeal, maybe you want something with a bit more fiber. This should be your new go-to. So legitimately, I cooked this for 2.5 minutes, and look, we have full-blown chia pudding. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in a bowl and add on all of our toppings, sit down and enjoy. It's about 10:45, which is typically when I do tend to eat breakfast. I normally will have like a smoothie and a juice earlier in the day, and then I'll eat like actual food that I have to chew a little bit closer to 11 o'clock. You guys, look at the texture. Isn't that beautiful? Like, that typically would take you 6 hours in the refrigerator, which, don't get me wrong, I still love to make chia pudding overnight in the refrigerator. What I actually do then is, if the next morning I want it warm, I just take my saucepan, I scoop a little bit of coconut oil in there, I dump my chia pudding in and heat it up for like 60 seconds, and then it's boom, warm chia pudding. So 2 different alternatives. So now we're gonna go ahead and start layering on our toppings onto this beautiful, bountiful, fibrous base. Okay, first I have some of the Harmless Harvest coconut yogurt. I've been loving this one lately. I also like the GT Dave's, the Coconut Cult, and Siggy's now has a new coconut yogurt, and I love the Siggy's brand, but I'm just using the Harmless Harvest one. I'm gonna put this on top of the bowl. And yes, this is cold, but I just like the refreshing elements of the toppings and having a warm base. Then we have some frozen wild blueberries, a delicious, refreshing topping as well. Then then because I like the crunch and a little extra like savory kick, I'm gonna be sprinkling on some raw unsalted pumpkin seeds. Then I'm gonna be drizzling on some nut butter. This is pumpkin, sunflower, chia, and hemp and flax. Yum. This does have a tiny bit of organic cane sugar in it, but I just saw it at Whole Foods. It's a Michigan brand. I wanted to give it a try, and I love to actually make a homemade version of this. So when I saw it in store with like 1 gram of sugar, I was like, I'm gonna buy that. So I'm gonna go ahead and drizzle that on top of the entire bowl. This is one of the more challenging parts of my jobs, of getting the perfect like Instagram drizzle. You guys, I have to say, mixing this all together, it's like so satisfying. I know it looks very pretty when it's all layered and very Instagrammy, but stirring this all up is like my absolute favorite part. It's like a sundae, but for breakfast. Okay, let's dig in and give it a try. Yum. Yum, yum, yum. So with the spices for me and the 1 gram of sugar added in my nut butter, I didn't need to add a sweetener, but you could absolutely add in a little bit of honey or maple syrup. I would do it in the saucepan when you're heating everything up warm. That way it's evenly distributed, or you could drizzle on top, whatever to your liking. But for me, with the yogurt, which is also unsweetened, but with the yogurt, the wild blueberries, and a little bit of nut butter, it's perfectly sweet for me. And so satisfying. I'm telling you guys, it's like an ice cream pudding. Like, yum. 10 out of 10. I highly recommend this one. Lately, I've been loving drinking out of this big jug from IKEA, and it's not a water jug, but it's just an experience, and I've definitely been enjoying it. So what I've been doing lately, and I often do this, is I've just been putting in some fresh lime into here that I thinly slice. And this holds about 34 ounces of water, so I'm doing 3 lime slices. And then over here, I've washed up some fresh mint that I bought at Whole Foods. I just ozonated it, and so I'm washing that up now. And I'm also gonna add that into here with some water, and it's super refreshing, and I love to have this as like a middle of the day through the afternoon and the evening as a quick pick-me-up. I love this because it's super refreshing. It's very luxurious. I love like the spa-like experience. It's 34 ounces, so I can drink 3 of these on top of like my herbal tea, my juice, and my warm water with lemon, ginger, tonic, and I feel super hydrated and energized throughout the day. Okay, so I just did some client calls, and then I actually had to run over to the post office to pick up a package and sign for a package for an upcoming brand partnership. And I just had a hat on, and I feel like I have crazy flat hat hair. So I'm going to quickly touch up my curls. I get asked this question all the time, how I curl my hair, what I use to curl my hair. I just use a super inexpensive curling iron from Conair. I've had the GHDs before. I bought them from Sephora. I bought them from Costco. I bought them from all over the place. I always return them and go back to this Conair. It's crazy. So I'm gonna quickly touch up my curls. We'll go downstairs and we'll make some lunch. I'm actually not even that hungry because I'm telling you guys that warm chia bowl is so filling. But I do want to eat because as part of the 5 habits that I'm leaving behind in 2021, it is scheduling calls during my lunch hour. So I have a little bit of a break. I'm going to eat now while I can. If you don't know what I'm referring to, I will put that video up here in the cards, but we're gonna go downstairs and make some lunch here in a second after I touch up my curls. We are gonna quickly throw together my lunch, and I actually shared this recipe here as an Instagram reel, and this is my absolute favorite cranberry chicken salad. I love this recipe so much because it is so easy to throw together, have in the fridge is something that you can grab for lunch when days are really busy, kind of like today, or even as a wonderful lunch box snack. This is such a good one. If you work out of the house or if you want to send it with your kids, you could spread it on a little bit of the Canyon Bakehouse gluten-free bread and you could enjoy it that way. So this is super versatile. I love to enjoy it over a bed of greens, whether it's spinach, arugula, baby kale, you name it. This is so yummy and flavorful to pull together. So I'm gonna pull out all of our ingredients, throw them here on a cutting board, and then we will get to making this delicious cranberry chicken salad. Okay, so I have all of our ingredients here in front of me. We have 2 cups of pre-cooked chicken breast. This is just from an organic rotisserie chicken. Such an easy and great hack to have on hand. Then over here, I do have 1 full cup of purple cabbage. Sometimes I use this, sometimes I don't. Today we had a ton of purple cabbage in the refrigerator, so I decided to add this in. Then I have 1/3 of a cup of diced celery, 1/2 cup of chopped carrots, 1/2 cup of a yellow onion. Oftentimes I do use red onion, but we didn't have any in the house and we had a ton of yellow onion, so I just used this instead. Then I have 1/4 cup of unsweetened cranberries that I've gone ahead and chopped up. Then in here I have 3/4 of a cup of unsweetened coconut yogurt and 1 whole small avocado. Sometimes I will use half of an avocado, but the avocado that I had was quite small, so I decided to use the entire thing. Then I'm quickly gonna just go ahead and grab my spices, which we will do 2 teaspoons of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and some salt and pepper to taste. We'll also add in a little bit of Dijon mustard and a splash of lemon juice at the very end. Okay, so I've just got a large glass bowl here in front of me, but to be honest with you guys, you could just do this in like a glass container that has a lid so that you can keep it in the refrigerator, because the likelihood that you're going to consume the whole chicken salad, unless you're making this for like a girlfriend luncheon or something, or for dinner, but probably not because it's cold, you know, in the winter months. But the likelihood that you're making it and going to consume it all in the same day is slim to none. But because I am making it for a YouTube video, I am gonna just be putting it in this glass bowl, and then after Kai and I eat lunch, I will be transferring over to an airtight container. So I hope that makes sense. You could just use one of like the large IKEA 365s with this and put it in there. After you eat it, this would probably be like the perfect size. After 2 portions of lunch, you would fill one of these. So just like a quick heads up. So I did go ahead and just combine all of the spices into 1 small bowl, just so that there's less dishes. But in that bowl, I do have all of my favorite spices are from Simply Organic. But I will say that the Thrive Market spices are also delicious. We've really been enjoying those as well. But I did go ahead and put in organic curry powder, some organic garlic powder, and organic onion powder. And then, as I mentioned, I'm just going to be doing Celtic salt and pepper to taste. So now I'm gonna go ahead and toss all of this into this large bowl, mix up our delicious, actually it just dawned on me, I didn't even mention this. So one of the great things about this recipe is it is completely dairy free. If dairy bothers you, then this I feel like is a huge win, because so many of like the chicken salads or like cold lunch salads do have like mayonnaise in them, and they are dairy based. Now, I don't have any intolerances with dairy. I can stomach dairy perfectly fine. It doesn't bother me. But like 10, 15 years ago when I was dealing with some really intense Hashimoto's, I was sensitive to dairy, but now I am not. But if you're somebody who is trying to limit your dairy, then this recipe is perfect for you, because we are using, as I showed earlier, coconut yogurt and avocado, which gives it the most delicious flavor. Even my husband, who's just like, you know, a regular guy, even loves this recipe, and he can't even tell that it's not mayonnaise based. I mean, he assumes he knows that it's not mayonnaise based, but you also could use the Primal Kitchen mayonnaise that they have. It's made with like avocado oil, free range eggs, I think. Super clean and delicious. So you could use that as well, but I highly encourage you to give this version a try first and then kind of tweak it and make it your own, because this one that I'm making today is different than the one I shared on Instagram. So I will put a link for that in the description box down below if you want to see my like original recipe, but this is just a yummy, delicious spin. Okay, so I just added some Celtic salt and pepper to taste, and you guys, this is like kind of like embarrassing, but I honestly could just eat this on its own. Like, it is so yum. Like if you love curry and with the Dijon, yum. Okay, so I just have the spring mix from Costco. I shared this in my Costco haul 2 weeks ago. If you haven't had a chance to check out that video, I will link it for you up in the cards. But that is my base. Okay, you guys, the salad is ready to go. Tons of chicken, the beautiful colors with the purple cabbage. Even though I didn't have the red onion today, you still get all of that beautiful color because we added purple cabbage. So this looks delicious. Let's go ahead and give it a try. The curry and the cranberry, oh my goodness, with the refreshing crunch. Yum, 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 yum. I hope that you guys give this one a try. Let me know in the comment section down below. Of course, I will have all of the recipe instructions down there for you guys so you can recreate this one at home. Okay, as expected, 2 full servings were consumed and the chicken salad fits perfectly in this IKEA 365 storage container. Okay, so I've gotten Sawyer home from school. I just got Ronan off the bus. I've changed into cozy sweatpants and I'm gonna get dinner started. So we are gonna be eating the rest of the chicken from lunch, the rotisserie chicken. It's in the oven. I'll take you guys over there in a second. And I am making 2 cups of jasmine rice. We love the one from Thrive Market. I've fully decanted this in one of the IKEA containers with the bamboo lid. So kind of like the one I showed you earlier with the chicken salad, but this one has a bamboo lid and that's in the pantry. But we love all of the organic Thrive Market rices. They are delicious. So I'm gonna be making 2 cups of the jasmine rice from Thrive. So I've gone ahead and rinsed and drained it to make sure that it's really clean. And now I'm gonna be adding in the water and then I'm gonna go ahead and toss that into the rice maker and it will take about 60 minutes. And then by that time, the chicken and veggies will also be done. In the oven, we've taken the rest of that organic rotisserie chicken from Whole Foods, and Kaya has just sliced it open, and we've put on some garlic, onion, paprika, and a little bit of honey, as well as some avocado oil and a tiny bit of butter. And we are just baking that at a very low temperature, 275, because obviously it's already cooked. And we're just gonna warm that all the way through here into the oven, and then I'm gonna be steaming up some green beans. So Kaya ended up actually throwing this on the smoker outside. It looks beautiful, ready to go. There's just like 3 more minutes left on the green beans and then we'll dish everything up. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys some fresh new content Instead of my beloved Tulsi ginger tea, tonight I'm going to be enjoying some peppermint tea because I actually have quite a bit of work to do tonight, and peppermint is just a slight stimulant, and it's only like 6:45 p.m. so I'm not worried about it keeping me up, but it will be just a nice warming boost. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and if you liked this video, you can let me know by giving it a big thumbs up, and then feel free to hit the subscribe button right here on the screen. That way you don't miss a single video, and I hope to see you back here next Thursday.